Good morning to all, and I thank Qlogy for arranging such a good event. So about the sugar part. If you go to Qlogy site, you can see the first sentence. Quality is not differentiator, it is imperative. We know the importance of quality, but today I want to talk about quality myths. Something what people think about quality and what is the reality. First myth is quality is someone else's responsibility. Let me share a very old ancient story. Once upon a time, a king decided to bake the holy idol with milk, and he ordered everybody should contribute a liter of milk in this tank. It is announced. One man thought, all will be putting milk in that tank. If I put 1 liter of water, it doesn't matter. Next day, when the tank was opened, it was full of water. Great minds think alike. So, in case of quality also, it is someone else's responsibility. Most of people think in that way. User will think it is responsibility of business analyst. Business analyst will think it is responsibility of programmer. Programmer will think it is the responsibility of tester. Tester will think no, user will do the UAT. It is his responsibility. So finally, we deliver many times a system with inadequate quality. So first thing, reality is everybody should think it's his own responsibility and his or her commitment to the quality. Second myth is quality means testing. Even in our age old, like in Ramayana, Shabari tested the berries and gave the good one to Ram, the Lord Ram. Today also we think we have to do this non-value adding activity testing, that I have to segregate between from bad and good and then deliver the good thing. But quality is much more than that. If you look at the various models, it is more about the improvements, how we make it. So, preventive action improvements that are more important than just looking at error testing. Third thing is, quality means showing good numbers and trends. What happens? This means it could be you are pushing the problems under the carpet and showing only nice things. And what happens? Once that carpet bursts, everything comes out. Take example of Enron or homegrown company Satyam. What has happened? They may be showing everything nice, they will show good quality, but at the end, everything is gone. Right? Then, next thing is, quality means high cost. Many people think it is cost. Mainly marketing guys will always make things clear that if you want quality, it will cost you. But if you look at the quality from different perspectives, there is the quality of design and quality of non-conformance. In reality, non-conformance takes more cost. A lot of cost will come from the non-conformance. And that is what Philip Crosby has talked about, that quality is free. That means if you invest in quality, your return on investment will be very high and it is almost quality is free. So your myth that quality is high cost should be removed from the people. My next point is quality means slogans. Especially in manufacturing companies and other companies, you can see there is a celebration of quality and they will show the competition, show nice slogans. But if we consider quality guru Deming, he opposes these things, all these slogans and things, because slogans are not going to solve any quality problems. These problems are coming from the system and processes. Just making slogan, it will not make a difference. One CIO just gave a slogan like, dare to be different, and then what happened? Everybody was confused about it and nothing was delivered. So best thing is, if you want to make slogan really effective, you need to have action based on that. It is tip of iceberg and needs a lot of action before that. Then it can be effective that yes, there should be commitment. Management and people should stand by with that slogan and then show that yes, it works. But if it is just a slogan, then it is the flavor of the month, people will forget soon. Even management will forget soon. Next thing is, quality means compliance. This is very much right from the when child gets into school, he is asked about the specifications and things, meeting compliance. For someone it is, what is the passing marks out of 100? 35. That becomes a specification. Someone could at 60, someone could set 90. But again, these are the specifications. And many times, when it comes to exam, we'll see what is the minimum passing. In most of the places, when it comes to quality, you ask what is the minimum requirement, I will meet that. Once that is done, okay. But what will happen with this thing or this kind of situation? We lose the quality and then we do not aim for the excellence. So main thing is motivating people for excellence will remove this need. Now the next thing is, some people think quality means audits. If I pass audit, happy. That means I have quality. For example, we talk about ISO 27001 security audit. Will hacker think, this company is ISO 27000 certified and audited, so I should not hack. We'll never say that way. So, it is not just audits. And auditors, if we go through n number of audits, will not help us. Right? Once I asked my colleague, what do you do in IT company? He said, we prepare for the audit, we get audited, we do the corrective action from audit, and if find some time in between, we will do some useful work. So, this is the story. And one good thing about many times, there are not good auditors. How auditors work? One person give example. The pessimist thinks that glass is half full, half empty. Optimist thinks it is half full. How does auditor will think? He will say, utilization is 50%, please buy glasses of half size. So this is the way they will just give you recommendation, and it will not happen the quality improvement. So in short, if I want to say, if you want to improve quality, don't just look at these models, go beyond that, remove the myths from people, and then you will get some kind of horizon where we can think real quality can get a much higher level. Thank you.
Questions?
Questions?
Yeah, the mic
Yeah.
on. Is it on?
Yeah. 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 Yeah, exactly. How do you be prepared for the audits? Main thing is, it should be in our blood, that process. I should be ready anytime. I should have the ethics, and I should have the cleanliness in my work, so that when it comes, there should be no need of doing pending the things, making it good to show to the auditor. Or if it is not good, let it come out. Then only we can learn. So don't prepare for your audit at all. There is no something called preparation for audit. It is just whatever you are doing, say what you do and do what you say. That is a simple basic principle we should follow. And then auditor, if there are good auditors, I do not say even mine. They think they have experience in different auditing different companies, and they will have the idea about what kind of better way of doing it. So if auditor also thinks I am not looking for just for NC against this standards, and great thing of falling upon you is opportunity for improvement. So if you think, one way is that I need not prepare anything. My daily work is definitely meets my requirements or has the quality gain. I think that is one part from auditing point of view. And auditor point of view, it is not just the standards or something. I want to value add in this organization through my audit. Very quick.